Hello guys, welcome to Plugin. So previously we have learned about basic data types. So today we are going to learn about data structures that are lists, tuples, dictionary and sets. So we will jump into our today's topic. So previously we have learned some basic data types. So in that we have learned integer, float, string, some numeric data types and string type data types and all. Okay, so here today the first topic is typecasting. So how we can interchange from one data type to another data type. So here you can see I have assigned a 3. It is in double quotes, meaning it is a string value 3 assigned to s variable. So how to change the type of a variable? So there are three inbuilt functions which we can call, so that it will convert us the data type what we want. So we are going to convert s is a string. So if we pass s in the function int bracket s, so it will convert us this character to an integer. So if we run by clicking Control Shift and Enter, so we check the what is the result. See, we get 3. So integer is a 3. And how to check the type of an variable? So we have to use type function. So and we will be checking the type of s also. So what is the type of s and what is the type of integer? So here you can see the integer is the variable integer is integer type and the variable s is string type. So we can see that the string character is now converted into integer character, integer value. Okay, like that we can convert s is 3 into a floating point also. So if I run this, we will get 3.0 because float will have a decimal point. So we will check type of C. Okay, then we will how to convert numbers into string. So numbers, we have number 676. We can take any number. We can 3666763 like that, and we can convert it into a string by passing a value to an str function. So if you see this str, it is in green color. So we can say that it is an inbuilt function. So we no need to uh, import anything or uh, anything like kind of thing. So it is inbuilt function. So we will run first. We will assign a 6763 to the variable y, and then we will convert and then print string c. The string is enclosed in the single quotes. So we can conclude it is a string type data. See, the string variable is str type and y is integer type. Like that same way we can convert from float also. See, we will run this and this. See, this will convert as 6763.8. So here also you can see it is a float type y and the string is an str type. So the interconversion between the data types we can do with three functions. One is int, one is float, and one is str. So now we will go to our today's main topic, that are lists. So what are lists? So list refers to a collection of data which are normally related, in the sense we are if we are storing the data as a separate variable. So we will store like string is equal sorry, y is equal to 6763, x is equal to some other number 1234, and z is equal to 1084, like that. So to reduce that one, we can store them as a list. So we can store all the three values of x, y and z in a list. So for instance, suppose our program needs to store the age of 5 users. So instead of storing them as user 1 age, user 2 age, user 3 age, user 4 age and user 5 age, it makes more sense to store them as a list. See, we have to collect data from each and every user, and we have to store it in different variables. So instead of storing that in different variable, we can use single variable to assign all the 5 values. So there the list comes into picture. So it can be easy to store data in form of lists. So note that we use square brackets when declaring a list. So multiple values are stored by separated by comma. Okay, we will see how we can create a list and all. See here, we are creating a list. So list is equal to, in square bracket, we are providing 1 and separating each variables by comma, 2 comma 3, or it can be any value like age of the user 1. Age of the user 1 may be 20 comma, then 31, then comma 27 comma 54 comma 44, etc., like that. So this will be the user 1's age, 20, 31 will be the user 2 age, and respectively for all the others. So if we have 5 user data, we can store it as 5. If we have 6, we can keep on adding like this, 64, etc. So this is the syntax of creating a simple list. So here we can create empty list also, like how we can assign a null string or none value, none data type, like that we can assign a null list. We cannot call it as null, but we can call it as empty list because we don't have any values in it. But if we check the type of L1, it is a list. See here I have stored numbers up to 40. See, you can see 26, 27, 28, 29 up to 40. So these are all long list. So this will have, so here like this we can store n number of values in a list. Okay, so we will run this cell. See, and we will execute L. So we can see L is 20, 31, 27. Okay, we will check what type of data type it is. So to check that one, type of capital L. See, it will show it is a list. So if you want to get what is the first user age, that is 20 we have stored. So how to get that one? We can use indexing. So L, capital L, in the square bracket we have to mention 0. So L0 of 20, like that. So in Python they are called indexing. Indexing, what is the value at index 0? Because in Python the indexing starts from 0. So we have to remember that in Python indexing starts from 0. So we have total 6 values here. We have indexing up to 5. So 20 is having a index of 0, and if we call 1 index 1, so it will show 31. So 31 is having a index of 1, then 27 is having a index of 2, like that. If we call L5, the last one will display 64. So 64 is having a index of 5. So we can check that one also. Like that we can access any user age based on the index. So we will be knowing the first one's age is, first variable is the user 1 age. So if we want the user 1 age, user 1 age is equal to L of 0. So if we print user 1 age, oh sorry, USER1 age, then we will get 20. So like that we can use n number of values in a list. So how to take input as a list? So that for that one we have to use evolve function. Inside that we have to use input. So if we use input, the user has to input the values. So like this, we will check that one also. We will execute this cell. We will get a window here to enter a list of values. So we can enter 1, comma 2, comma 3, comma 4, comma 5, comma 6, comma 7, comma 8, comma 9. Then if we press enter, it these values are stored as a list in the variable input list. So we can check that one. See, we can see it is stored in the list input list variable. So next, coming to what kind of data we can store in the list. See here, list can contains all kind of things, even other list also. For example, we can see here. So in the list one, the first element is 1, the second element is a floating point value, it is 2.718, the third element is ABC, a string, and the fourth element is a list of 567. So we can store a list inside a list. So we call that as nested list. And then in list 2, we can store only string type data also. We can string type data also. So A, B, C, D, A. We can store anything in a list, but each variable, each entity should be separated by comma. That's the important thing to remember. Then indexing and slicing. So like that, what I have shown you earlier, using the user age1 L of 0, that thing, we can access list 1 of 2. The 2 index contains ABC value. So here, so we have not run this one. We will run this one first, and then we will run list of 2. So list of 2 contains ABC. So ABC is at the index of 2. So if we call list 1 square bracket of 2, then we will get the value at the second index in the third position, that is in the list. So we can check the index. If we don't know the index, if we know the value of the list, then also we can check at what index the ABC is present. So for that one, we have to use a function called index. So list will have some inbuilt functions where we can call that one. Okay. So to call that one, we have to use dot operator. So list one dot index. Here we have to pass what what index we want, or which element index we want. So if we execute this one, we will get 2. See, if we call list 2, we will get ABC. If we call list1 dot index of ABC, we will get 2. Okay. And one more thing here, someone will be having a doubt what to pass, how to pass and all. So you will get a simple pop-up like this. So you have to do only, if you have to place your cursor inside this bracket, and you have to press shift plus tab. So here you will see list1 dot index. This is the signature how we have to write. So here we have to pass a value. Starting range is 0, automatically it is assigned, and the stopping is this much. So we can say these many indexes values up to these numbers we can store in a list. Okay, if you press on this one, it will expand, it will come in the bottom. Okay, so this is one of the uh, most widely used. So shift tab, so you will get the syntax and what are all the values you have to pass and what are all the default parameter is set to, and all we will get. So, and operators, so we can add two lists. So we will in the next video we will learn how we can add data types, what are all the operations we can do on data types. So in that you can clearly understand. Here the plus symbol, the operator plus adds one list to the end of the another list. That means if we have 7, 8, 1, this is one list, okay? Plus we are adding another list which contains 3, 4 and 5, okay? This will add, the total list will be, list 3 will be 7, 8, 3, 4, 5, okay? And the star operator, multiplication operator, repeats a list. Repeat a list means if we give multiplied by 2, it will give us 4, 5, 6, 7, comma 4, 5, 6, 7. So we will execute and see one by one. So we will execute list 3 is equal to 7, 8 plus 3, 4, 5. So now the list 3 contains total 5 values. So see here, the list 3, 7 and 8 is, sorry, 3, 4, 5 is added at the end of the list 1. Okay. So here you can see this is the second list and this is the first list. Okay, like that. So if we want to add another list, we can add here also. Like we can add any string kind of data. So A, B, and C we can add. So because list can take any values, any kind of data, so we can add any kind of data. See, list 3 now, the list 3 contains ABC, so it has added after the first two list. So if we change the order, so it will add in the same manner. So if we cut here and paste at the last, so then if we execute, then also it will show. So it will execute one by one. So then coming to multiplication operator. So in the list we can uh, pass this multiplication operator and then how many times we want to repeat this list. So it will repeat after this list. So there is a list 4, 5, 6, 7. After that it will uh, again repeat the same thing two times. So we will check that one. So list 4 is multiplied two times and list this 4, 5, 6, 7, this list is multiplied by two times and the list 0 is multiplied by 5 times. So we will check what is the output of list 4. So list 4, we can see here the same list is appended two times. One is the original list and another one is multiplied. So if what is the use of multiply means it will create multiple copies in the same list. So if we check list 5, it has 5 zeros because we have given a factor to multiply 5. Okay, so it has repeatedly given the values 5 times. Then coming to built-in functions of list. So there are several built-in functions that operates on list. So we will see one by one. Len. So len is a function in that we have to pass a list or a tuple or a dictionary, whatever we want, we have to pass, but it should have some length. So len means length. So len returns the number of items in the list. So here we have 5 items. So if we pass list 5 here, so it will give us how many items are present in that list. So in list 5 we can see 5 items are present. So 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, it is 5 times. So it is giving length of a list is 5. And sum. So sum returns the sum of the items in the list. See, if you want to see what is the sum of a list. So here we have assigned age. What are all the sum of the ages we want to see? So we will take L only. It will be fun. We will check. So instead of list 4, we will take capital L. So sum of their ages, sum of the ages of users are 240. Okay. Then here comes an interesting fact. So we can calculate average ages. So we will length of L we will calculate first 6. Okay. So what is the average age of the users we have taken from the list? For that one we have to, what is the average formula? Sum of all the values divided by number of items. So here average is equal to sum of L divided by length of L. So we will print average. See 40. So 40 is the average age value of the users. So here we will use some inbuilt, we have used some inbuilt functions to calculate the average user age. So like that it will be most helpful. These inbuilt functions are. So minimum. So we will check, we will take that example of L only. So we will check what is the minimum value in the list. It should be 20. See here I will once again print the L to make sure. See, okay, maximum of L. What is the maximum value? 64. So these are all some inbuilt functions where we can get easily the functions what it does. So it returns the minimum value, minimum of the items in the list, and max returns the maximum of the items in the list. These are all inbuilt functions. Some of the methods. So we will jump on to methods. What are all the methods? Can be done through list. Okay. So we will reprint what is there in list 4 so that it will be easy for us to understand. Okay. So list 4. So list 4 we have multiplied one list into 2 times. So it is repeated 2 times. So here list 4 dot append. So append in the sense means it will append any value to the list. Okay, which list we want to append that list, and dot we have to append is a function and we have to pass what value we have to append. Okay, if you press here shift tab you will get object. What object you have to append to the list 4, that we have to write in the bracket. We can use string also, we will check that also. So list 4 dot append 3. So we are appending the value 3 to the list 4 and then printing. See at the last we got 3 in the list. So it has successfully appended the value 3. Now we will append some str of 3 or a string value of 3. Then also it will append. See in the list also it will display in single quote so that we can identify it as a string. Okay, the append method. So append method is very useful. Sort. So we can sort the list. Whichever the list we want to sort, that list name and dot, and then if we give sort, so it will automatically sort us from in the ascending order. So we will run that. We will see. See here I am getting this error because not supported between instances of str and integer, because we have a str type list here, we cannot sort that one, so we can sort only numerical type data. So for that one what we can do, we can remove that last digit, last in item of a list. So how we can remove? We can remove by passing a remove parameter here 3. So list dot remove 3. So it will remove 3 for us. Okay. And then we can sort here. Now if we print L4, so we have seen here L4 does not contain any string type data. Now if we sort it, it will print. See here it has sorted. Here we can see 4 5 6 7, 4 5 6 7, 3 is there. So here 3 4 4 5 5 6 6 7 7. So it has sorted the list. We can count how many values 4, how many times the 4 is present in the list using a count method. So we have to pass what value we have to count. Here we want to count 4, then we have to pass list of 4. It will show 2. So if I pass 3, it will show 1, like that. So count returns the number of times the X occurs in the list. We can check index of 6. We have seen this earlier only. So you should have understood by this time. So index returns the location of the first occurrences of the X. So if we count from here 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So the first occurrences of 6 is at 5. So it is returning 5. And there is another function called reverse, where we can reverse the list. So here we can see 7. We can, if we will reverse and see here we have reversed from 7 7 6 6 5 5 4 4 3 3. Okay, and in the sort method we can pass, I think, yeah, we can pass a parameter called reverse here also. So if we pass here reverse is equal to false, then it will sort in 3 4 5 6 7 type, and if we pass a parameter reverse is equal to true, it will sort in the reverse order from greater value to the lesser value. So the reverse also do the same thing, and we will try to remove one of the values. So we will remove 5. So if we remove 5, it should have only one 5 in it. So here we have two 5s, we'll have one 5. So, and one more method is pop. So pop removes the item at the index p and returns its value. So in the p, in the sense, it will return, it will pop exact value. So if we pop 6, sorry, it will removes the item at this index p and returns its value. So 6 is at fourth value, so we are removing that one. So we'll print list and check. See, okay, it will remove the, based on the index it will remove. So 6 is the index, 0 1 2 3 4 5 6. So it has removed this 4. So which value it has removed? Okay, in the list 4 we can see the 4 is popped out. So here in the pop we have to pass the index. We will check with 0. So it has to pop the first occurrence of 7. We'll print list 4. See here 7 6 6 5 4 4. So it has popped the first index. And one more method is insert. So it will insert the value at the given position or the given index. See here we are appending 6 or inserting 2 at the position of 6, at the index of 2. So see, okay, first is the index and last one is the value. We can check it here. So first one is the index and second one is the object what we want to insert at which position, that has to be specified first. So if we assign at 0, the index 0, we want to append 1, then it it will append at index 1 0. Sorry, index 0 it will append 1. So these are all the methods we can use with the list. So if we have a list, we can use all these methods and get what we want at the final output. Next, moving on to tuple. So tuples are the data structures very similar to the list type data structure. So the main difference being that tuple manipulation are faster than list because tuples are immutable. So I will explain what is immutable. So note that we use round brackets when declaring a tuple. So multiple values are separated by comma. The only difference between the tuple and the list while declaring is the round bracket and the square bracket. So we can assign without any brackets, then it will be considered as a tuple. So we will run this cell. Shift enter. So we will check what is the value of L1 and L2, how it looks. So L1, L2. So L1 contains 1, 2, 3. L2 contains 1, 2. We'll check type of L1. So it is a tuple type data. So tuples, sorry, here we have to use one tuple. So the plus operator adds one tuple to the end of the other. So we can use L1 plus L2 to append or to add two tuples. Here we can use multiplication operator to repeat L1 three times. So here we can see 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It is repeated two times. So tuples also has some inbuilt functions. So L3 is 9, sum of L3 is 18, and max of 13 is 3, and min of 13. L3 is 1. Here we can see only inbuilt functions of tuple. We don't have methods because tuples are immutable, because tuples cannot add into the to a tuple if we assign any values in form of tuple, so it cannot be modified. That is the main difference between the list and the tuple. So in a list we can append, we can remove, we can pop, we can sort. Like that we cannot do anything in a list. So it has its own structure to define a list, tuple. So we don't have any methods on the tuple. We have methods but only limited. So that one are count and index. So how many times the 3 is repeated? 3 times. We can use index function to get the index of 2. First occurrence is at 1. So L3. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So we don't have any built, this is only a built-in methods. So we don't have any methods like list, examples, append. We can see here the list has so many append, sort, reverse, remove, pop. So these insert and these and all are not there in the tuple. So this is the main difference between the tuple and the list. And then coming to dictionary. So dictionary is another kind of data structures or data type. So dictionary is a sequence of items. Each item is a pair made of key and a value. So dictionaries are not sorted. So you can access to the list of keys or a values independently. So note that we use flower brackets when declaring a dictionaries. Multiple key value pair are separated by commas. So here the first one is how to declare a dictionary. So dictionaries are declared within the flower brackets, and it, the dictionary are in the format or in the syntax of this is a key and this is the syntax its value. So 31 is the value for the key January. Here I am trying to map how many days in a month. So in January we have 31 days. So it is a key value pair. We can say so here we can say January is a key and the value is 31. Like that February is a key and 28 is a value. Like that we can have up to December. So dictionaries also has methods, so inbuilt methods. So where days we want only keys as a list, so we can access that through days dot keys. So date is a dictionary, days is a dictionary, and days dot keys, so getting the keys of the items in the dictionary. So we'll run this one, days, and then days of a keys. So January, February, March up to December. These are the keys of a dictionary. And what are all the values? Values are the number of days. See 31, 28, 31, 30 like that. So we want to get what is the total number of days in the key of key which is equal to July. So July is a key. We want to know what is the days in the July. So for that one we can call like this. So days of July. We can see July is having 31 days. So we are getting 31. So if we pass June, we'll get 30 because June is having a value of 30. So June is a key and 30 is a value. Here we'll see some more examples. So here we have assigned A 100 and B 200. So we will run this one. So we want to assign a value of A. So here A is called a value and 100 is called a key. So we want to update the value of A. How we can do that? We can assign externally with the equal to operator. We can assign 400. So D of A is equal to 400. If we do this, so the A's A is some value key here and its value gets updated. So if we run this one, we have updated D of A. So D is a dictionary, its A value is updated to 400. Here we will update C value, or we can do this as new entry as well. So we can pass new values so that its key can be updated. Here if we run D of C, it also gets updated. So we will check what is there in the D now. See, you can see the A's value get updated to 400 and the new value is also appended to the dictionary. So how we can give new values to the dictionary? Like using this syntax, we can give new values. So we want to delete some items in the dictionary based on the key. Okay. So A is a key here. So we want to delete A. So it will remains only B and C in the dictionary after deleting. We'll check what is there in the D. You can see only it has B is equal B 200 and C 100. So where these dictionaries are useful. So we have assigned D1 as a dictionary which contains three items. So the first item is having dog as a value and its key. Key is dog and its value has a tail and goes woof. So cat is a value, key, and its value is says meow. So mouse is a value and its key is cheese by cats. So now we will play some mini game here. So if we enter a key here in this section, you will get the value of that key. So here if I enter dog, dog, then shit. So every time I forgot to run the first cell. So D1 is assigned and then we will enter dog. See, we got an output of the definition is has a tail and goes woof. So these kind of examples, this is a basic example. So this example can be implemented anywhere. So using a dictionary kind of thing, we can use copy. So if we copy the values of D1 to D2, then we have to use copy method to copy the values from one variable to another variable. So if we press D2, it also has dog, cat and mouse. Next, coming to list of keys and values. So we have keys and values in a dictionary that we got to know. Now how to get those values as a list? So we will change dictionary D1 to a list. So it contains now dog, cat and meow. So how to get the values of the uh, values of these keys? So we have to give list of d1 dot values. We have got, so dog has a tail and goes woof, cat says meow, mouse chased by cats, like that. And items, so in the sense items in d1 dot items, in the sense we will get a pairs of values like dog has a tail and goes woof. So we'll execute and see in a list each item is a tuple. Tuple contains dog and dog is a value and has its tail is a dog is a key and has a tail is a value. Here is an example where we can use IDs. So we have to save user ID, name, phone number and email contact of him. So then we can use a dictionary to store individual values. So individual value, so one user have ID and same user has name, phone number and email. So that values can be stored in the form of dictionary, so it will be easy for us to access whenever we want. So the last data type we are going to study is here, the set. So sets are constructed from a sequence or some other iterable object. Since sets cannot have duplicates, they are usually used to build sequence of unique items. So set of identifiers. So set will have only unique values. So it will not contain any duplicate values in it. So it is used as a identifiers. Okay. So we will how to assign a set. So set is assigned in the round brackets with the name, with the function name set. Okay. Declaring, how to declare a set. So we are assigning a set to a variable a and set of these values 3, 4, 5, 6, etc. to the variable b. So we'll print b. Now see, it gives us in the flower bracket the values, only unique values. So here we have 3 times. So it is giving only one time. So we can say set returns only unique values. Okay, what are all the operations you can perform on the sets? So in the sets are defined for, we have studied in the plus 2 and all. So sets we have intersection, union, inner subset, upper subset, difference, etc. like that. So when we want to do that kind of operations, what are all the operations that can be done on sets, then we will convert them into sets. Then it will be easy for us to handle the values or the data. So we are assigning C A intersection B. So what are all the values will intersect in both? So in A and B, 2, 3, 4 are intersecting. So here 1 and 5, 6 are not intersecting. So intersection works. So C is a subset of A. We will check. It is true because C is having 2, 3, 4 and 1 is having 1, sorry, A is having 1, 2, 3, 4. So we can say C is a subset of A. We can check C is a superset of A. False, because it is not a superset. Difference. So what are all the difference is there from between A and B? The difference is 1. Okay. D dot copy. Sorry, A dot copy that copy a set A to a variable D. How to copy? So here we can see we have copied the set A to a variable. Okay guys, so that's all for this video. If you have any doubts or anything want to clarify, so please comment in the comment section. So if you like this video and you want to join our data science course, then you can contact us through mail or you can connect through Facebook or LinkedIn. Okay, and you can visit our official website www.plugyan.com. Thank you for